There is a moment every English learner knows. You are standing in front of someone. Maybe it is a stranger asking for directions. Maybe it is a job interviewer looking at you across the table. Maybe it is just a colleague in the hallway who says, "Hey, how was your weekend?" And something inside you freezes. You know the words. You studied them. You memorized them. But in that moment, they disappear. Your heart beats faster. You smile and nod, hoping the moment passes. And afterward, walking away, you think, why can I not speak? I understand everything. Why can I not just say it? If that moment feels familiar, I want you to know something. That is not a language problem. That is a practice problem. And those two things are very, very different. Most people believe that understanding English is the same as being able to speak English, but it is not. You can understand every word in a song without being able to sing it. You can watch a swimmer for years without being able to swim. Understanding is passive, speaking is active. And your brain right now has been trained to understand English, but not to use it. That is the real reason you freeze, not because you are slow, not because you are not smart enough, but because no one ever taught you how to train the speaking part of your brain. Today, that changes. Because in this video, I am going to share 5 daily habits that will slowly, quietly, and permanently rewire the way your brain connects with English. These are not tricks. They are not shortcuts. They are simple, human practices that work for every learner in every country at every level. And by the end of this video, you will have a complete daily routine you can start using today for free with nothing but yourself and 15 minutes. Stay with me. Because the second habit on this list is the one most learners completely skip. And it is also the one that creates the fastest improvement. Let us begin with something honest. Most English learners spend years studying English without actually practicing English. And those are two different things. Studying means reading grammar rules, memorizing vocabulary lists, watching subtitled videos. Practicing means doing. It means using the language with your mouth, your ears, your hands, your thoughts. Think of it this way. Imagine someone who wants to learn how to cook. They read every cookbook. They watch every cooking channel. They memorize every recipe. But they never actually go into the kitchen. Will they become a good cook? No. Because cooking is not a knowledge skill. It is a doing skill. English is exactly the same. It lives in your body, not just your mind. And the only way to train your body is through daily practice. So let us talk about the 5 things you need to practice every single day. The first thing is speaking English every day, even when no one is listening. Here is something most learners never try. Talking to yourself in English. Not in a classroom, not with a tutor, just you, alone, in your own room, speaking English out loud about the most ordinary things in your life. When you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking in your native language, you say quietly, "Good morning. I feel a little tired today, but I am going to have a good day." When you are making tea, you say, "I am boiling water. I am adding sugar. This smells nice." When you are walking to the bus stop, you describe what you see. There is a dog sitting near the gate. The sky looks cloudy today. I think it might rain. This practice has a name. It is called self-talk. And psychologists who study language learning say it is one of the most powerful tools available to any learner. Because when you speak out loud, even alone, you are training 3 things at the same time. You are training your mouth to form English sounds. You are training your ears to hear your own English voice. And you are training your brain to think in English instead of translating from your native language. Think about a girl named Priya. She studied English in school for 12 years. She scored well on every exam. But she could not hold a conversation for more than 30 seconds without freezing. One day, on the advice of a friend, she started talking to herself in English while cooking dinner. Just simple sentences. "I'm cutting the onions. I need to add salt. This looks good. After 3 weeks, something shifted. Her sentences started coming faster. Her pauses got shorter. She was not translating anymore, she was just speaking. That shift from translation to direct speaking is what self-talk builds over time. Start with 5 minutes a day, just 5. Talk about what you are doing, what you are seeing, what you are feeling. Use simple words, short sentences. Do not worry about mistakes. Mistakes are not failures, they are practice. And practice is exactly what you need. The second thing is listening to English every single day, but listening in a very specific way. This is the habit most learners skip, or they do it wrong. Most learners listen to English passively. They play a podcast in the background while cooking. They watch a show with subtitles, reading more than listening. They hear English, but they do not really absorb it. Active listening is completely different. Active listening means you choose one short piece of English audio, something 30 to 60 seconds long, and you listen to it with your full attention. You do not look at your phone. You do not check the meaning of every word. You just listen to the sound, the rhythm, the speed, the way words connect and flow into each other. Then you repeat what you heard, out loud. Not reading it, saying it from memory, from feel. You try to copy the sound, the pace, the natural music of the sentence. This technique is called shadowing, and language researchers consider it one of the most effective tools for improving pronunciation, fluency, and natural rhythm in a second language. When you shadow, your mouth learns to move the way a natural English speaker's mouth moves. Your brain starts to feel what fluent English sounds like, not just understand it. Here is a simple exercise you can try right now. Listen to this sentence. I am going to make the most of today. Now say it back. Not word by word, as one smooth sound. I am going to make the most of today. Say it again, faster this time. I am going to make the most of today. Notice how going to sounds almost like gonna in natural speech. That is the rhythm. That is what you are training. 10 to 15 minutes of active listening every day is enough. But it must be active, full attention, repetition, out loud. That is the only way it builds the speaking muscle you need. The third thing is learning new words, but not the way your teacher taught you. At school, most of us learned vocabulary by memorizing lists. Teacher writes 20 words on the board. You copy them into your notebook. You memorize the meaning. You write them on an exam, and then 3 days later, they are gone. Completely forgotten. Because memorizing words in a list does not teach your brain to use those words. It only teaches your brain to recognize them on paper. The way the brain actually stores vocabulary long-term is through connection. Your brain remembers words when they are attached to a feeling, a situation, a story, a sentence that means something to you personally. So here is what you do instead. Every day, learn just 5 new words. Not 50, not 20, 5. But for each word, you do not just write the meaning. You write it in a sentence that comes from your life. A sentence about your family, your work, your neighborhood, your feelings. If the word is exhausted, you do not write exhausted means very tired. You write, I felt exhausted after standing in the afternoon heat waiting for the bus. That sentence, your sentence from your life stays in your memory. Because your brain already has an emotional folder for that experience. And now, the word exhausted lives inside that folder. Use each new word at least 3 times on the same day. In your self-talk, in a sentence you write, in something you say out loud before sleeping. By the end of the day, that word is no longer new. It is yours. 5 words a day, 365 days a year. Do the math. That is over 1,800 words in 1 year. At that level, you can hold a conversation about almost any everyday topic in English, all from 5 words a day. The fourth thing is reading English out loud every single day. Most learners read English silently. They move their eyes across the page, they understand the meaning, and they feel like they are practicing. But silent reading does almost nothing for your speaking. Because speaking is a physical skill. It requires your mouth, your tongue, your breath, your voice. And none of those things are being trained when your eyes are doing all the work. Reading out loud is completely different. When you read aloud, three powerful things happen at the same time. Your mouth practices forming English sounds in sequence. Your ears hear your own voice speaking English, which builds familiarity and confidence. And your brain begins to connect written English directly to spoken English without the translation step in between. There is a reason professional actors, news anchors, and public speakers all practice reading scripts aloud, even after years of experience. Because reading aloud trains fluency in a way that nothing else can replicate. It forces your mouth to keep moving forward, to not stop, to push through the difficult sounds and the unfamiliar word combinations. Here is how to do it. Every day, find one short paragraph in English. It can be from a simple story, a news article written for learners, or even the subtitles of a video you watched earlier. Print it out or write it down. Then read it aloud, slowly and clearly. Do not rush. Pay attention to each word. If you stumble on a word, stop, say it 3 times slowly, and then continue. Here is a short passage you can practice with right now. Read it aloud after me, 1 line at a time. Every morning is a new beginning. I choose to face today with a calm and open heart. I do not need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving forward. Now read it again. A little slower this time. Let each word land before you move to the next. Every morning is a new beginning. I choose to face today with a calm and open heart. I do not need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving forward. Notice how reading it the second time feels slightly easier. That is your brain adapting. That is fluency being built, sentence by sentence, day by day. Here is a small tip that changes everything. Read in front of a mirror. It sounds simple, but it creates a powerful psychological shift. When you see yourself speaking English, when you watch your own mouth forming the words, something inside you begins to believe it. I can do this. I am doing this. That visual confirmation builds confidence faster than almost any other technique. 5 minutes of reading aloud every day. That is all. 5 minutes. But do it every single day without fail. And within 30 days, you will feel a difference in how your mouth handles English. The words will start coming more easily. The sounds will start feeling more natural. And that feeling of your English opening up will begin to replace the old feeling of freezing. The 5th thing is the most powerful habit on this entire list. And it is also the one most learners never even try. The 5th thing is thinking in English. Right now, most learners have a process that looks like this. A thought appears in their mind in their native language. Then they translate it into English. Then they try to say it. By the time the sentence is ready, the conversation has already moved on. The moment is gone. And they feel once again like they are always one step behind. That translation step is the wall between you and fluency. And the only way to remove it is to practice thinking directly in English. This does not mean you need to abandon your native language. It does not mean you need to think in English all day long. It simply means you begin to practice creating thoughts in English first, for small, everyday moments, until it becomes natural. Think about what happens when a child learns to speak. They do not learn words in one language and then translate into another. They simply learn to attach words directly to experiences. They see a dog and they hear dog, and those two things become permanently connected in their mind. No translation, direct connection. That is exactly what you are training when you practice thinking in English. You are building direct connections between your experiences and English words, so that the translation step slowly disappears. Here is how to start. Choose just one part of your day to think in English. Just one. Maybe it is your morning routine. As you wash your face, you think, the water is cold. I need a towel. I feel more awake now. As you eat breakfast, you think, this is warm. I am not very hungry today. I need to hurry. You are not performing for anyone. You are not being evaluated. You are simply narrating your own life in English, quietly inside your own mind. Over time, expand this to other parts of your day. Your commute, your lunch break, the few minutes before you fall asleep at night. In those quiet moments, instead of replaying the day in your native language, replay it in English. Today I had a difficult meeting. I felt nervous, but I managed it. I am proud of myself. Think about a young man named Arjun, who had been studying English for 8 years, but could barely hold a conversation. He started this habit, just 5 minutes of thinking in English every night before sleeping. He would describe his day in simple English sentences, no grammar rules, no dictionary, just whatever words he had. After 6 weeks, his speaking speed had almost doubled. Not because he had learned more vocabulary, but because the translation step had started to dissolve. His brain had begun to move in English directly. That is the power of this habit. It does not just improve your English, it changes the way your mind works in English. Now let us bring all 5 habits together into one complete picture. You speak English every day, even just to yourself. Because speaking is a physical skill and your mouth needs daily training. You listen actively every day, shadowing and repeating, because your ears and your brain need to absorb the rhythm and sound of natural English. You learn 5 new words every day and connect them to your own life, because vocabulary built through personal meaning stays forever. You read aloud every day because it bridges the gap between written English and spoken English and trains your mouth for fluency. And you think in English every day because removing the translation step is what finally makes you feel free in this language. These 5 habits do not require a classroom. They do not require money. They do not require a native speaking partner. They require only one thing from you: consistency. Not perfection, not speed. Just showing up every day and doing the work, even on the days when you feel tired, even on the days when you feel like you are not improving, even on the days when you make mistakes that make you want to quit. Because here is the truth about language learning that no one tells you clearly enough. Progress is invisible for a long time. You practice for days and you feel nothing. You practice for weeks and you are not sure anything is changing. And then one morning, without warning, something shifts. A sentence comes out of your mouth naturally. A response forms before you have time to think about it. Someone compliments your English and you realize you have changed. You just could not see it happening. That shift does not come from one perfect study session. It comes from 100 ordinary practice sessions stacked quietly on top of each other, day after day. Let me give you a simple daily routine you can begin tomorrow morning. When you wake up, spend 5 minutes talking to yourself in English. Describe your morning. Tell yourself your plan for the day. Use simple words, short sentences, just speak. During your day, learn 5 new words. Write each one in a sentence from your own life. Say each sentence aloud at least 3 times. In the evening, find a short paragraph and read it aloud in front of a mirror, slowly, clearly, with full attention. Before you sleep, spend 10 minutes with active listening. Play one short audio clip. Listen carefully. Shadow it. Repeat it. Copy the rhythm. And throughout your day, whenever you have a quiet moment, think in English. Narrate, describe, reflect. Let your mind practice moving in English without the safety net of translation. That is your complete daily English practice routine. It takes less than 30 minutes in total. It costs nothing. It requires no special materials. And if you follow it every single day for 30 days, you will not just feel different, you will be different. I want to leave you with one final thought. Muniba Mazari, the artist and speaker who has inspired so many people around the world, once said something that has stayed with me. She said that transformation does not happen in big dramatic moments. It happens in the quiet, private moments when no one is watching. When you choose to keep going even though it is hard. Your English journey is exactly like that. No one will see you talking to yourself in the morning. No one will watch you reading aloud in front of your mirror. No one will know about the 5 words you practiced before sleeping. But those invisible moments are the ones that build the visible results. They are the ones that make the difference between the learner who freezes and the speaker who flows. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too old, too busy, or too far gone. You are simply at the beginning of a practice that, done daily, will change everything. So start today. Not tomorrow, not after the exam, not when you feel ready, today. Because the best time to begin was years ago, and the second best time is right now. Practice every day, improve every day, and trust the process even when you cannot yet see the results. If this video helped you, the next one will take you even further. Because once you have built these 5 daily habits, there is a hidden step that most learners never discover. And it is the one that finally removes the fear of speaking in front of other people forever. That video is coming, and you will not want to miss it. Until then, keep going. I believe in you. And more importantly, it is time for you to believe in yourself.